Hello everyone, I'm Santiago, and today I'm gonna be comparing the GTX 1650 Super against the RX 580. This is the 8GB RX 580. I wanted to do this test because the prices in these cards are very similar. In my region at least, you can get the RX 580 8GB a little bit cheaper than the 1650 Super, and I saw in Amazon and Newegg that you can get it for similar prices. I'm not sure on the used market because the used market here is pretty much non-existent. So on all these games I'll be using 1080p and the same settings on each card. Remember, this is not about looks, this is about performance. So I'll be using 16GB of RAM at 3000 MHz on dual channel with a Ryzen 5 3600, using everything on stock settings. The core clock on the RX 580 is 1366 MHz, and on the 1650 Super it goes from 1920 to 1875, something like that. That's the AverMedia GPU boost. Depending on the temperature, the clocks will be higher or lower, so as time goes on, depending on the temps, it can drop into the upper 1800 MHz or on the low 1900s. Also, I'm using the latest version of the drivers of each of the cards. So overall, I saw that the cards ran very similar, they were neck and neck on most games, and in some others, one of the cards was superior to the other by 10 frames per second. An example of this is GTA 5, on the 1650 Super it was faster. Forza Horizon 4 for some reason was faster on the NVIDIA card, which is usually the opposite. Usually AMD had an advantage on that one. Then on Rainbow Six Siege and World War Z, I saw an advantage on the RX 580. And on the Unreal Engine 4 games, usually the 1650 Super is a little bit faster than the 580. So yeah, depending on the game, one is superior to the other. But we got more VRAM on the RX 580. What's the difference in this case? Well, for example, in Resident Evil 3 Remake, Resident Evil 2 Remake, all those new Capcom games, you can crank up textures much higher without running out of VRAM. So if you care about that, in those games it'll make a difference. You can also use the ultra high resolution texture pack on Rainbow Six Siege that uses more than 6 gigs of VRAM. So yeah, that will be the main advantage in this case. The games where I noticed the VRAM difference were Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Call of Duty Modern Warfare, in some cases GTA 5 due to the MSAA, Zombie Army 4 went over 4GB as well, The Division 2, Gears 5, Shadow of the Tomb Raider, even Batman Arkham Knight, which was kinda surprising. So yeah, many of the games in this list will be over the VRAM limit, but this doesn't necessarily stop the NVIDIA card. It's still around the maximum VRAM usage, and it's trying to compensate for the lack of VRAM with some system RAM in some games, but it still has a very comparable results. So yeah, in this case I would choose a 580 if I had a good enough power supply to support it. It requires an 8-pin cable from your power supply, the 1650 Super only a 6-pin. But yeah, if you have a better power supply and the price is similar and you need the extra VRAM, go for the 580, especially for those games that don't have a texture quality option. So yeah, I cannot know for how long 4GB will be enough on the VRAM side of things, but at the moment it seems to be totally fine, as long as you're fine by lowering the texture quality in some very heavy games like Resident Evil 3 Remake that has many texture quality options, or if you want to use higher resolution texture packs. In that case, you wouldn't be able to enable them on the 1650 Super due to the lack of VRAM. But other than that, the numbers are very similar, and I recommend that you just check the price in each of your regions. And if you don't have any particular preference on the VRAM amount, I would just go for the cheaper one if you have a good enough power supply for the AMD card. But yeah guys, that's about it. I hope you keep enjoying the video, thanks for watching, and see you next time.
I'm not in love with this place. Nothing but sand and heat. I feel like shit here. Artyom, a car! Somehow, I don't like this welcome either. Let's go.
They stopped in that village there. Let's...
Hey, Captain. This fine young lady could use our help.
Carlos, you didn't even think to ask fine young lady her name? She is an elite operative of RPD, Special Tactics and Rescue Service. Her name is something Valentine.
It's Jill.
Nice to meet you, Jill. I am UBCS Platoon Leader Mikhail Viktor. My team was sent here to rescue civilians.
Right. How's that going for you?
The city is completely cut off, isolated. Most of the 100,000 civilians will wind up dead. Correction, undead. My platoon has suffered serious losses. Just keeping them alive is more than I can manage.
Well, you can thank your corporate overlords for that.
Whoa! Don't get between me and my gun, heretic!